Yeah, I'ma make this shit hot. Oh, I'ma light this shit up. Yeah, I'ma make this shit hot. Oh, I'ma light this shit up.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to a brand new What If. This is going to be a continuation of What If Naruto was the ultimate Uchiha, but if you watch the very end of it, you could see that for some reason Naruto got chucked through multiple dimensions, worlds, and ended up kneeling in front of this strange being. And that was the Otsutsuki god. Now, this is going to be the new What If. What if Naruto was the reincarnation of the Otsutsuki god? Can't say the name right, but get over it. Other than that, hit the like goal. If you did enjoy, subscribe. And other than that, let's jump straight into the video. We cut to Naruto, who's just been torn out of his world at the end of a war that he thought he won, to now be kneeling in front of this strange being. Naruto looks up. If you watch the last What If, Naruto unlocked his final Rinnegan. It's a golden Rinnegan, but it has Tomoe, which are... Have you ever watched My Hero Academia? You know Darby's Flames? They're that type of blue. He's kneeling in front of him, looking up. And the person in front of him says, "Ah, finally you have awakened. I've been anxious. No, not anxious. Excited to meet you. I am the Otsutsuki god, ruler of all realms, of all dimensions, and you now belong to me." Hearing this pisses Naruto off and his eyes flare. He rushes at this person in front of him, ready to fight. He needs to get back home to his family. He throws a punch just for it to go through this person. Naruto thought, Kamui, and activates his own, thinking he'd become intangible, and swipes again, not being able to touch him. Naruto lunges his hand through him, but nothing happens. The being then lifts Naruto up by his throat. Somehow Naruto can't touch him, but this, whatever the hell this person is, can touch him. And now he's choking him in the air. And he says, "You're not using your full power. Boring." He chucks Naruto across the world. And I mean, not across the world, across the room. Naruto has calling Chroma, but he can't get into any sort of contact with him. Damn it, what can I do? This being in front of him then shows a raise of powers that Naruto has never seen before, manipulating the ground underneath him freely, jutsu without hand signs, been able to control gravity, control reality, until finally Naruto gives up. For Naruto, this has felt like 100 years of fighting, where he's just been pummeled into the ground. Naruto believes that all his friends are dead, where in reality nothing's really changed. But at the same time, Naruto has gained a lot different type of powers, pushing his power to the limits every single second, and he finally gives up. The Otsutsuki god comes before Naruto and says, "You have proved your worth to me." He picks Naruto up by his collar and says, "For the last thousands and thousands of years, my disciples, have mistook my message. I wanted them to spread and grow chakra fruits throughout the world, so people throughout the world, the universe, so other people could have chakra, have the similar gifts to us. But they took it as give them power just to strengthen our own. And I've grown tired. My soul itself is soon going to wither away, and I believe without me here, that my Otsutsuki clan are going to go on a rampage across the universe. But at the same time, I've grown tired of this life. So my original plan was, when I ran out of energy, to just take over a soul, such as your own. But after seeing the way my people have mistreated others, I cannot be bothered. So you, Naruto Uzumaki, you are going to be my reincarnation. You're going to gain my memories as well as keep your own, and I'll be sending you back in time to your birth. I hope you train well and learn to master your powers, and I hope you do the right thing with them." He gets chucked in the air, and this strange being shrinks down and flies into Naruto's chest. Naruto's skin turned pale, his eyes turned Byakugan white, and he just feels power explode from within. And then he gets chucked back in time till he's born. Of course, we're following what Naruto was the ultimate Uchiha plot. He's thrown to when he is born. His mother had just been killed and his father had sealed the entire Nine Tails inside him. And he opens his eyes. Naruto's skin is now pale, but his eyes are still the same bluish colour until they flash into a Byakugan, catch Minato off guard and fade. If you guys want to know his full abilities, you have to go watch what if Naruto was the ultimate Uchiha to figure out what other abilities Naruto has. Because he's keeping them abilities as well. This is a continuation. Naruto grows up. He doesn't really remember much until he gets to about the age of 6 to 9. Naruto lived the same life as Itachi basically, but just way better. He has a Byakugan, a Sharingan. He feels no drain of chakra, and he's considered a prodigy from all the major clans: Uzumaki, Uchiha, Hyuga. Until Naruto's 9th birthday, as he's dreaming, he's still without his memory there. He's floating in the sky, in a black, empty space. And that's when the god of Otsutsuki comes and flies into him. All of a sudden, every single one of Naruto's memories race through his mind. He feels his chakra grow insanely, and power being unlocked that he hadn't had before. All his memories, all his abilities from before that he lost return to him. And he wakes up standing in his room, just overwhelmed. This actually causes Naruto to feel intense pain and dizziness and pass out. Minato had sort of sensed the insane rush of chakra in his house and rushes into Naruto's room to find him laying on the ground with blood coming out his nose, his ears, his mouth. He rushes Naruto to the infirmary, and only thing they can tell him is Naruto's chakra suddenly overflowed. It was too much for his body, but in some sort of insane miracle, his body adapted quick enough to the rate that it's healing now. He's going to be completely fine, if not better than before. Hearing this, the bad thing in his heart settles. He just thought he was going to lose his wife and his new son, but thankfully he doesn't. The day Naruto wakes up, Minato is still laying there next to him, and it gives him a flashback of the first time he got seriously injured, and not seriously injured, the first time he seriously passed out. His dad waited with him in hospital all night, forgetting about his Hokage work. Naruto looks at his hands. His vision is 20/20. He can see everywhere. He has the vision of a Byakugan where he can see all around him, even without the blind spot, even though his Byakugan isn't activated. He activates his Sharingan, and it's insane. His Byakugan, he feels like he can see all around the world. But different types of powers are rushing through Naruto's mind. But his father wakes up, sensing this chakra disturbance, and he says, "Oh, you're awake, Naruto. Never scheming like that again." And he snaps Naruto around the head. Minato shakes his hand. Naruto's skin is insanely hard. He's like, "What are you, a brick?" And Naruto just smiles. He gets discharged from the hospital, and of course he goes to see Sasuke and Itachi. They all are relieved to see him after they got informed what happened. Sasuke was nearly in tears. By the way, yes, Naruto's skin is pale, and they just said it was a deformity. But no one judges him for it. But he still, actually, you comment down below, do you want the Otsutsuki white hair or keeping his black Uchiha hair? And I'm thirsty. And you wonder why I keep on pausing. I keep on hearing a noise at my window and I think I'm getting robbed. I see you at my window, go away. Anyway. After everyone knew Naruto was okay, Naruto went deep into the forest to train. He plays his hand out. Somehow, with memories that aren't his own, he sways it. The ground beneath him changes and follows his movements. He can control it perfectly. He does this with every element, creating fire without jutsu from his hand, changing its colour: green, pink, blue, even black. Naruto created a flame stronger than Amaterasu without even trying. He can turn water into ice when he will. He can control matter down to its atomic level. He says, "So this is the power of a god." He hears a voice in the back of his head. "Not even. Just you wait. As your age progresses, so will your power." This is when Chroma finally makes first contact with Naruto. as he's been holding back, and he gets sucked into his head. Chroma doesn't skip any. Chroma skips all the formalities, and he says, "Kid, what are you? You give off the energy of the old man, but stronger, purer, more powerful. And I've been reading through your thoughts. They seem to be sealed away. I can only capture a few to some of them, and this power you have isn't ordinary. What are you?" He goes, "Oh, hey, Chroma." This catches Chroma off guard. "What? How do you know my name?" And Naruto shuts his mouth. He's like, I can read minds." Here and this, Chroma just laughs and says, "What can't you do, kid? Now explain, what is your power?" Naruto decides that he can actually be honest with Chroma, but not fully. And he says, "Well, if I'm being entirely honest, I have memories that seem not to be my own. But from what I remember, I seem to be part of the Otsutsuki clan. But I don't know how." Chroma says, "Well, it does make sense. You're a Uzumaki that has Senju, but that also has Senju DNA, then Uchiha, then Hyuga. I believe all that mix should be pretty decent to be Otsutsuki, even if you're not pure-blooded." Naruto goes, "Huh, yeah, I guess." And he thinks, thank God, Chroma's stupid. Chroma goes, "Well, I suppose if you're similar to old man, I should be fine to open up to you a bit." And Naruto goes, "Open up to me, you're being a pussy." Chroma gets a bit flushed and says, "How dare you, I'm the nine-tailed fox," and he roars at Naruto. The chakra doesn't affect him. Chroma realises the chakra he used to roar just gets absorbed into Naruto. That's when Naruto looks at his hand. There's 2 marks in his hand. And something pops in his head saying, "Karma seals." He shakes his head. What is that? It's like these thoughts aren't even my own. Naruto asks Chroma to send more chakra at him, but chakra that's meant to hurt him. Chroma isn't going to argue with him. "Sure, if you want to get hurt, fine by me." And he sends chakra flying towards Naruto. Naruto puts his hands up and it absorbs it easily. And he says, "So that's the power." And suddenly 2 Rinnegan open up in his hand, but quickly disappear. Naruto gets freaked out and he leaves his mind zone. He comes to reality. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Then that voice appears again. "Naruto Uzumaki, relax yourself. It's part of the Otsutsuki clan power. We can have a Rinnegan on our hands. It gives us unique abilities, allows us to absorb chakra and dish it out at a stronger rate. Say you absorb a fireball jutsu, you'd be able to release it at about roughly 5 times the power. But due to you being my reincarnation, that'd be more like 100 times the power." Naruto goes, "Interesting, thanks for the tip. Who are you?" And he reveals himself to be the god of the Otsutsuki clan yet again. He goes, "Something went wrong with the reincarnation. You are mostly me, but part of my mind is still here. No complaint from me. This would solve my boredom of being dead. So now you're stuck with me, kid." Naruto goes, "Okay then, can I at least give you a name?" And the god of Otsutsuki says, "Okay, what do you want to call me?" And I'm going to need you guys to come up with a name. If you don't, I'll come up with one by next episode. What do you want the god of the Otsutsuki clan to be called? And yeah, so just pretend they come up with a name. And then the god of the Otsutsuki clan says, "By the way, I just wanted to warn you. Some of my people have been preparing on this planet in secret. They're going to start a war. Not anytime soon. I give you 20, 30 years. But just to let you know, it's nothing you've seen before. It would make Madara Uchiha seem like a bug. So just get ready for it." Naruto hearing this gets a confirmation that he needs to train. And as such he does. Naruto of course is first class in the academy. And when Mitsuki tries to trick him into stealing a scroll, he agrees to it, just to catch Mitsuki off guard waiting for him outside the Hokage's office. Mitsuki tries to attack him. Naruto absorbs all the jutsu he sends at him and sends it back. He limits it to 10 times stronger. This burns up Mitsuki's skin, and unlike Kanon, Naruto doesn't kill him. He just makes him a cripple by snapping his spine. And takes him to his father by teleporting in. Naruto can teleport. Get over it. He drops him and explains what happened. Minato, looking at this snapped spine, feels a bit bad that his son have to do this at his age. But at the same time, somewhat proud. He's going to be a capable ninja. And he says, "Thank you, Naruto. You've done a great service to the village. With this, I could most likely get you promoted to Jonin." Hearing this, Naruto accepts. If this was his previous life, he would decline it. But Naruto himself has already proved himself. He doesn't need to deny handouts anymore. And he says, "That would be great, Dad. Thanks." And he sends out a smile that warms Minato's heart. They get their teams, of course, and this time Naruto amps up the pranks. It's chalk and then a bucket of water, but Naruto's gonna freeze it when it hits Kakashi to not like freeze on his skin, just to make Kakashi freezing cold. And as such, it happened. And as Kakashi's starting to get pissed off, Naruto puts his hands out and says, "Freeze." Kakashi feels his skin get cold, like ice cold, and he starts running about trying to heat up. He even uses fire style on himself, and he says, "You brat, training field now." Naruto laughs and says, "Sure, Kakashi, whatever you say." They get to the training ground, and unlike before, Naruto just tells Sasuke to wait there in case I need your help, and he tells Sakura, "Don't be useless." Kakashi says, "Begin," and Naruto stands there waiting. Kakashi says, "Brat, I'm getting you back for that." But before he can even react, Naruto's in front of him and punches him hard in the chest. This wounds Kakashi, sending him flying backwards. And Sasuke chucks about 10 kunai. I mean, not 10 kunai, like 10,000 kunai using a scroll that Naruto prepared for him. He just needed to summon it and they'd all go flying. And then Sasuke changes positions. Kakashi, seeing all these kunais coming, are just astonished. What? Impossible! And Naruto just goes, "I'm prepared. I know this test is about to be about teamwork." After Kakashi manages to dodge all the kunai, even having to use Kamui on some of them in secret, Naruto goes, "You even had to use Kamui against me. Pitiful, Kakashi. I guess to make you feel better, I'm gonna tell you, I'm being promoted to Jonin by the week." And Kakashi says, "Really? Good, I don't need to hold back." Kakashi whips out a Sharingan and uses a weaker version of Chidori, nothing to pierce him, just to shock Naruto. He slams into Naruto's back, sending an electrical shock throughout Naruto's body. Naruto, running to keep suspicion low, pretends like he's in pain. This tickles him. But as the electricity is on his body, Kakashi thinks he'd be paralysed, just to see Naruto absorb it into that weird mark on his hand. Naruto goes, "Time to pay this back in full, Kakashi." Times it by 10, sends a massive lightning bolt at Kakashi. Kakashi barely dodges to see the explosion behind him, and he yells, "Naruto, no, that could have killed me!" Before he can even get the words fully out, Naruto is in front of him, kicking him hard in the throat. Kakashi summons up his dogs to pin Naruto, but Naruto just cancels the summoning somehow. This catches Kakashi off guard, seriously. No one in history has been able to just cancel summoning at will. And Naruto explains it as, "Your summonings are linked by your chakra. I just had to disturb the chakra flow on them using my own. The chakra link, use my own, and suddenly you can't have a connection and there's no summoning." Kakashi says, "Interesting, you really are the genius of the century." And Naruto says, "I'm flattered that that's coming from you. Other than that, thanks for the bells." Kakashi laughs and says, "You ain't got the bells yet." That is when Naruto's shadow clone pops up the ground and touches one of the bells. Kakashi moves. But Naruto, who's now all his past life, he's been practicing jutsus. One thing he lacked was sealing jutsus, and that's what he's practiced his entire time. With that one touch on the bell, Naruto's managed to send a sealing jutsu all the way up through the bell around Kakashi. Now Kakashi can't move and he cannot use his chakra at all. Naruto walks over and picks up the bell and tears it off and says, "Thanks," and he releases the seal. Kakashi takes a deep breath and says, "Impressive, kid. I thought I was about to die. I couldn't feel my chakra flow at all." And Naruto just says, "I've told you, I'm just doing God's work." And the Otsutsuki god in the background is just laughing, along with Chroma. Naruto slowly introduced him and he said that Naruto explained it as this is one of his Otsutsuki powers, and Chroma, not knowing a lot about the Otsutsuki, just agrees to it. I'm on that, guys. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, share with your friends, family, like and subscribe. And peace out, guys. Bye.